Hey guys, so classmate asked, is oxoacids of nitrogen and oxides of nitrogen a primary or secondary pollutant? Before we answer this question, let's first review what terms like oxoacids, oxides of nitrogen, and primary/secondary pollutants are. To begin, we know that oxygen is a highly reactive nonmetal that is an oxidizing agent that readily forms oxides with most elements and other compounds. One such element is nitrogen. However, such formation of oxides could only happen under very special circumstances. At room temperature, nitrogen is a very inactive gas, but in the presence of lightning or a spark, nitrogen combines with oxygen to form several different types of oxides. Nitrogen forms three common oxides: nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, and nitrogen dioxide. It also forms two unstable oxides, dinitrogen trioxide and dinitrogen pentoxide, which can be collectively referred to as NOx. As stated previously, nitrogen oxides can be formed through lightning or sparks, which make them abundant naturally in the atmosphere through lightning storms, or artificially, such as through the combustion of gasoline in automobiles, which emit nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. Nitrogen oxides, however, can be dangerous in our atmosphere, reacting with ammonia and moisture to form smog, nitric acid vapor, and ultimately acid rain. Now that we know about the oxides of nitrogen, what are the oxoacids of nitrogen? Oxoacids, also written as oxyacids or known as ternary acids, are acids that contain oxygen. The compound contains hydrogen, oxygen, and at least one other element, which in our case is nitrogen. The two common oxyacids of nitrogen are nitric acid and nitrous acid. Nitric acid is a strongly acidic, colorless, corrosive liquid able to oxidize most metals. On the other hand, nitrous acid is considerably less stable, a weak acid that tends to disproportionate into NO and HNO3. It is normally made by the action of a strong acid on a cold solution of a nitrite salt. This leads us back to our question about primary and secondary pollutants. A primary pollutant is an air pollutant emitted directly from a source, while a secondary pollutant is not directly emitted as such, but forms when other pollutants, namely the primary pollutants, react with them in the atmosphere. Oxyacids of nitrogen are classified as secondary pollutants for their formation in the atmosphere only after reacting with other compounds. However, while nitrogen oxides are primary pollutants for the creation in land-based processes from the combustion of gasoline to stationary emissions from coal-fired and electric power plants, they are also a contributing component for our secondary pollutants, such as in the creation of ozone after reacting with hydrocarbons, compounds with both hydrogen and carbon atoms. But these nitrogen oxides can also be classified as a secondary pollutant themselves, such as in the case of NO2 or nitrogen dioxide. This is formed when another primary nitrogen oxide, nitrogen monoxide, reacts with oxygen in the air. Therefore, it is important to note that classifications of these compounds as primary or secondary components are not rigid and instead depend primarily on the scenario in which they are formed. But regardless of classification, these compounds continue to be a threat to our environment and to our own health. So by learning about these compounds and how they might form, we can prevent them from doing any damage to our world and find ways to fight against them. I hope this video helps you to learn more about oxoacids and oxides of nitrogen and the classification as either primary and secondary pollutants.